Hey guys, welcome back to this tutorial. Today we are going to be looking at merging, concatenating and joining data frames. So sometimes you would have two or more data frames. You have your data set in 2 or 3 different tables and you want to join them. How do you do this? So you can use different concepts of pandas. You can use merging, you can concatenate, or you can join. So basically, let's just check out the concatenating. So here I've created a dictionary named data1. It has name, age, address, qualification, and it has these values, these respective values. And the second dictionary, name, age, address, and qualification as well. So my first data frame created using this first dictionary, and the second data frame using this second dictionary. So let me print the two data frames so we would know, just so we would see what we are working with. So print df2. Yeah, so this is the first df with index of 0 1 2 3. See that when I created the data frame I passed the index 0 1 2 3, and here too I passed the index of 0 1 2 4 5 6 7. So when you have two data frames with the same columns, you would notice that the first data frame here has name, age, address, and qualification column. The second data frame too has the same types of columns, yes. So, but with different indexes. The easiest way to join these two together would be to use the concatenate function. So you would simply just say pd.concat, and then you pass in a table a list of your data frames. So in this case, we're concatenating data frame 1 and df2. So if I execute this, you would see I have 0 1 2 3 4 5 that has been concatenated. So that's basically that about the concat function. So you can also ignore indexes if it has the same index. If you have this also with 2 and this has 3, this one has 2 and 3, so this one has 2 and 3, you can say ignore index. Let me do this again. So you see we have the two data frames with this index 2 and 3, 2 and 3 as well. So when you are concatenating here, you can simply just say ignore index and you set it to true. So this way is we ignore the index and just concatenate the two. So you see we still have the same output. So you just simply just put ignore index. So that's just a simple way to concatenate two data frames. So you can also use the append function. You can say df1.append df2 and you simply get the same output as well. Yeah, so you see you have the same output as well. So but you notice that the index is not ignored. So you see you have 0 1 2 3 and you still have 2 3 6 7 here. So that's just that. You can also add data frames and series. So like here I've created a data frame df and a series. So when you execute this cell, I can add these two together by using the pd.concat, and then you simply just, the same way you would add two data frames, you simply just do this as well. So you can add two. So you see we have 0, which is the series, the address, the age, the name, the qualification. But you'd notice that we have NaN values here. So if you wanted to add it to the column, you want to add this series as a column, you would just pass in the argument axis. So you see axis is equal to 1, and when you execute this, you see that we have this first data frame, and then this series has been added, salary. So that's just another way to add a series. That's just a way to add a series to a data frame. So that's basically about the concat function. So you can also merge data frame. The merge is somewhat advanced, it's a bit more advanced than the concat function. So let me briefly explain using this picture. So because when you're merging, we'll be using the horn key argument. We'll be using the horn argument and how. So these two cycles, see them as two data frames that are merging together. So if you are using the hina, that means only values that are present in both, this is just intersection, that are present in both data frames should be merged. If you are using the left how, the left would mean that only the values that are in the left data frame present also here. Then all values present in the left and the ones present in the left and present in the right will be joined. You see it more when we get to the code part. So same thing with the right here, and then the full outer join, the outer. So outer will just merge everything together regardless of whether there are intersections or not. So that is just the pictorial representation. So here have created these are two different dictionaries, and the first DF and the second DF. So let me print this so that you see what it looks like. So you can see we have key, name, and age, and we have key 0, 1, 2, 3, and 7 here, and we also have name, we have age. And for the second data frame, we have key 0, 1, 2, 4, and 5. We have address and we have qualification. So here, if we say merge and we use on key, so merge takes the first, you pass in, instead of, in the concat you pass in a list of your data frames, but in the merge you just simply pass in the data frames you want to merge, like that. Then you simply just say the pd.merge, then df, then df1, the two dfs, then on where do you want them to merge. So we're merging on key. You can merge on name, you can merge on age, any value you want to use as your merging strategy, you use it. But I'm using key here. So if you merge on key now, let's look at the output. So you see I'm merging on key. So when you look at it, it's merging on key. So only values that are present in both K0, K0, K1, and K2, K0, 1, and 2. So the default of how would be inner. The default of how will be inner. So merging on key and inner. So I'm seeing just K0, 1, and 2. So all other values that are not present, that are not in this two data frame, that will not be in the intersection, they are not merged together. So that's just that. So when you now put on how, let's understand this how. So when you have the how argument and you choose inner, you see we have the same output as this above. So the default is the inner. When you now choose left, when you use left, so you see we have all of the values from the first data frame, K0, 1, 2, 3, and 7. Then just the address of K0, 1, and 2 that are present in the left here. That's where we have the address and the qualification. So you see, we have K0, 1, and 2 on the second data frame, but we don't have K3 and K7. That's why we are having NaN values here. So if you also do right, if you put right here, you will see we have all of the values from the second data frame, but we don't have K4 and K5 in the first data frame, so we have NaN values here. If you say outer, then all of the values would be present. So you see, we have K0, 1, 2, 3, 7, 4, 5. Both, everything that is in the left, and it's like you are concatenating it together. So outer, you are adding two, but here there is no K3 in the second data frame, so you have NaN values here. There is no K4 in the first data frame, so you have NaN values. There's no K5 in the first data frame, you have NaN values. So that's just how to use the merge function. So I hope you understand how to use them now. So keep practicing, and basically that's all about the merge and concatenation function. See you in the next tutorial.